Okay, great. So we're making some really good progress right now. We have this table, but it's kind of ugly. And what we want to do is make it pretty. Like I said earlier, make it beautiful. So we're going to make use of cascading style sheets for this. Now, we actually have a cascading style sheet that's available in our starter files. So I'm going to move back over to my directory where I extracted all of my sample code. And then there's a directory here called Web Student Tracker Starter Files. So let's go ahead and expand that folder and web content. Then there's a folder here called CSS for cascading style sheets. So we already have a CSS file that's already created. So let's go ahead and select this file, right click and choose copy. All right, so we have this file copied. Let's move back into Eclipse. And in Eclipse, what we want to do is create a new folder for our cascading style sheets. So we do a right click, we say new folder, and this is under web content, a new folder called CSS. So web content CSS. So we'll hit finish. And now we have this new CSS folder that's underneath web content. Now this is the folder that will paste our file. So we simply do a right click and choose paste. Now for this CSS file, you could really put it anywhere that you want. I'm just putting it here in the CSS folder just for organization, but you could put it in any directory at any location that you want underneath web content. All right, so here's our styles CSS. Now, full disclaimer, I'm not a CSS guru. I normally have a friend help me out with CSS, or I normally find examples on the web and kind of copy paste. So I'm not a graphic designer. But anyway, this is a basic CSS that can kind of help us out. Now, let's use this CSS in our JSP page. It's a common question, like how do we use a CSS in a JSP page? So again, assuming we have the CSS file already created, then in our JSP page, it's just like an HTML page, right? So to use CSS in HTML, you simply put it in the head. Same thing here for JSP. So we set up the link type, text/CSS. We give the rel of style sheet, and then we give the href to where the style sheet's located. So we created this directory called CSS, and we had a file here called style.css. And that's basically a reference there to the style sheet. So css/style.css, and that's the directory that we have here as part of our project under web content, CSS, style.css. Now that style sheet has rules, and it'll apply those rules to this actual HTML content or this JSP page, and then it'll give us a pretty output here. So some of the rules relate to, and I'll kind of scroll down here in a second. So we have styles here for wrapper. We have styles for header. We also have styles in that sheet for container and content. And you can go back and dig into the style sheet to look at all of those styles. But anyway, that's that. It's in place. We're ready to go. So then we can go back to our student tracker, click the refresh button, and boom, wow. This is great. So isn't this great? So we had a very basic, ugly HTML table, and by simply adding CSS styles, now it's pretty, it's beautiful, it's lovely. Alrighty, so as you can see, I'm having a lot of fun here because I'm really excited. We accomplished some really, really good stuff here. So anyway, that's kind of full circle. So we have the list student feature working, and in the following videos, we'll go and add some more functionality. But for now, take a break, pat yourself on the back. Job well done.